It's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End the discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak to change what a partake. Cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, hopping down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
King, I just wanted to let you know you're way too handsome not to be smiling here. And I love you. How are you, King? I just wanted to let you know that you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. You are way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem, King. Just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. You. I love your smile too, young King. Always keep it on you. Don't let nobody never take it from you.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
You're
No
the best.
problem. I appreciate that.
You are, but I love you.
Hey, how you doing, King? I just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem. How you doing? I just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. I love you. How you doing, baby? I just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. And it's a beautiful smile at that. I love it. King, how are you? I just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem. And take care of yourself. Keep that smile on your face to let the world know you're strong.
Welcome to another episode of Dad is Not a Noun. My name is Ishmael, changing the narrative for Men of Color Father, as well as changing the narrative on the things I care about. And today, what I care about, I'm going to be honest with you. Last week, I had a shitty week. To make it blunt, I know I'm going to get hit by YouTube, but I don't care. You know how when we go on TikTok, the algorithm controls our life when it comes to what we see. And I saw this video telling random kings to smile, and that put a smile on my heart. And I was trying to figure out who is this queen that's doing this great thing, just going to random brothers just to tell them, let me see your pretty smile. I don't want nothing from you. I'm not trying to holler at you. I just want to see your pretty smile. And I'm truly honored to have her on my show. It's truly a privilege. She's a comedian, author, writer, poet, and actress. And I would say a comic book creator. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. We have Keke the Great. Thank you for coming on the show, Queen. How you doing, Queen?
I appreciate you, King, so much for having me. I'm ecstatic. Like, I don't know what to really say or do at this point because I didn't expect everything to blow up as it did. But it's a beautiful thing happening. I'm touching beautiful kings as yourself, and that's a beautiful thing for me. That's rewarding.
Definitely. And, I'm a big advocate for mental health. And the first question I ask all my guests, I know it's going to be a big question. How's your heart?
My heart is filled. And I think for me, what filled it even more so when the idea came to me, when God gave it to me. And I don't know if I really had any mental health issues before or anything like that, but we all deal with things. I'm not a perfect person. I've lived a crazy life. I got a lot of stories, but when God placed it on my heart, it's like he knew I needed this as well. And my heart is really, truly filled up and it's overwhelming. It is, but it has to be done. You know what I mean? So.
And I love how you're spilling it onto other people, especially on your content when it comes to telling random kings to smile. But before we get into that, let's talk about your journey. I would say a prodigy at an early age. I don't want to, make your head big, but I'm going to give you your flowers.
I
At an
appreciate
early
that.
age, you know, great singer,
Mhm.
um,
Thank
great
you.
writer.
Thank you.
Um, at the age, was it at the age of 14, you
Mhm.
created your own comic book out of a
How
leaf
do you
paper
know
called The
this?
General Daughter. Talk about The General Daughter. What was that about?
How in the world do you know this?
I do my research. I do my research. I do my homework before I
You
have my guests
did.
on.
You really did. Oh my God. And you know what? I heard you said it. You said it earlier, but it still didn't click. Like, wait a minute, that he's talking about little me. Oh wow. So you want to know about how that all started with the comic
Yes,
books
I
and
want to know
everything?
about The General Daughter. At an early age, it
Okay.
was a little spicy. You said for a 14-year-old. So I want the spice. Talk like the idea behind The General Daughter.
Um, this is unbelievable. Okay, so the general daughter. I'm 14 years old. And if I'm being honest, of course, at 14, you start thinking sexual thoughts and everything else. It was a little bit explicit for my age at the time. I'm older now, so I know it was wrong, but I knew I had a creative something inside of me. And I took out some notebook papers and I'm like gluing them together and I'm cutting out figures and I'm creating this idea of the general's daughter. And I
Mhm.
grew up watching things I wasn't supposed to watch on TV, but so
What
it
was you
added
watching?
value to it.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
we
get you in
already
trouble, but what were you watching? Were you watching
know.
Max?
I was watching stuff like Zane.
Okay,
I
okay, okay,
loved the Zane episodes. I
okay.
did. And when I saw the General's Daughter, or when the idea came to me for the General's Daughter, I was like, I can write something. I had an imagination that I still can't get rid of. And it stuck with me since the age of 14. That's so amazing because here I am just cutting out things and I'm creating this story. Basically, the general's daughter, she was a vixen. She was a vixen,
Mm, okay.
lack of a better word. Yeah, she was a vixen. Yes. And she was doing some things, but we know that people in power and people in position, we know exactly what happens.
Yes.
So I knew that at an early age. It's
Wow.
it's unbelievable. I did. I really did. You gonna stop this with your questions. Hold on. If you never did an interview right here, you're missing out because this man, he's gonna find out some stuff. He got me sweating in the palm of my hand. Where that question
That's
come
that's
from?
what I that's what I do. That's what I do, man. And that's the beauty of this podcast is that I
Mhm.
do my homework, but it's all love. It's just getting to know people and just having a good time, because in this world that we live in, especially with Cat Williams and
Mhm.
what's going on with that, sometimes
Right.
it's good to just, have fun, but also just get to know people. Like,
Exactly.
because I know you've been on interviews and people ask you the same questions, like, "Oh, what was
Yeah.
your inspiration?" Or, like, "When did you knew you want to be a comedian?" And you're like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I'm programmed. I'm a robot. I'm gonna,"
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm. And actually, about the general's daughter again too.
yeah,
Believe it or not, I had most people have imaginary friends.
yeah.
I created different characters in my own way. I would
Mm,
dress up, run around my room. I'm Veronica. I'm Stacy. I'm David. I'm Kenya. I'm everybody. And I don't. It's something about that little girl. That little girl. That little girl. That she's still there.
because that's the one thing too is like you talk about how you were kind of a loner, and so
I
your
was.
imagination was your best friend, and
It was.
so with your imagination, it kind of helped you create these characters, but it was a perfect distraction.
It was. And it actually, I feel like that was God actually building the character in me for today. I didn't know what it was. I'm in my room thinking I must be going crazy. I'm up here creating comic books. I don't know the half of creating these things, but I'm gonna do it because, like you said, I was a loner. So when you're a loner, you you observe. You observe more of the world. You take in different things in a different way that other people would because you see it in a different view. So that's dope.
And I think that's dope too, is that you wrote music too at an early age
I
too. That's
I
phenomenal.
did. I did.
But what's the first song you wrote?
Oh, it was a song about an officer.
Okay.
Yeah, I am a lesbian, but I used to love me a man in uniform when I was a little girl. So I'm up there like, Mr. Officer,
Hmm. Okay.
come on top of me. I'm just
Mm.
coming up with whatever I can. But that was one of the first songs I wrote. I have many more actually. I have the folder still from
Oh,
when
you
I was
do?
that young. I
Oh,
kept
wow.
it because I never knew when I was going to need it again. I never knew when I was going to have to dust it off and say, all right, I need to record you now. It's still relevant in today's time. And oh, I absolutely love music. I actually performed for my mother's wedding when she got married. It was beautiful. I performed Alicia Keys. What Never Felt That Way
Right.
by
Wow.
Alicia Keys. I think Brian McKnight did it first, and then
Yes.
she followed
Yes.
behind. Yes, and
Yes.
music for me, it still never went anywhere. I have a right now my music level is gospel. I am
Okay.
like on Pastor Mike Troy. That's my number one right now. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, Master, yeah, Pastor Mike Troy Jr. I think his name
Okay.
is. He's a he speaks to me and he speaks about me. That's how I feel. And I feel like with music, you have to make that about something. I get music today, but it is what it is. I'm not going to talk about anyone because it is what it is. That's their creative side. So, but for me, music has always been something special. I was actually 8 years old when I started writing music. 8 years old. I had a
Wow.
powerful voice, everything like that. I thought I was going to actually be in the industry for singing, but God always tell you it's another plan. He
Fact.
always tells you.
Hey, a lot of artists need ghostwriters. I'm just saying.
There you go.
There you go.
There
You
you
got you
go.
got a lot of material in the folder, so I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I still do. I still do. Thank you for the hey, thank you.
That's what
Now
I
I'm gonna have
do
to
at
cut
that
you a
is not
check.
enough.
What percent you want? I'm trying to get money. See?
See, there you go. I'm leading you to the money. You just got to just get there. But
You gotta have some type of stake in it. You giving me
for
ideas.
real, seriously.
Yeah, that's
But
what we do for each other.
that's right. That's right. And
Mhm.
then also just talk about, you're an author too. You wrote
Yes.
books. Talk about the
Actually, I
books.
have 3 books right now. I'm self-published on Amazon.com. My first book I wrote, it's kind of an insight. It's not a biography, but it's almost similar to my life growing up. It's called Love, Lust, and Secrets, the
Mm,
epitome of an unsustainable life. It's
mm.
about a young girl. She's a lesbian living with, her family, but she's also struggling the dating life and loving and actually get to know herself. My second book is called Wet Urges. That's an
Mm.
erotica. Like I said, I read
Okay.
a lot of Zane when I was coming up. You know, Alpha Phi. I don't want to say it. Now you see that? If you like that book, you're gonna love Wet
Okay.
Urges. And my third book I wrote, I tapped into that dark side. I
Mm.
wrote a psychological thriller called Sexual Beast: Tales of a Barbarian, which it's a trilogy. So I have part one out. Part one is out, and I have 2 more on the way.
Nice. Do you see a transition of like seeing it become like a short, like mini series or a film one day?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
okay, okay,
Absolutely. All 3 of them, actually. All 3 of them. We don't
nice.
have Playboy anymore for Wet Urges, but I'm gonna
No,
have to find Showtime or something. You know what they do.
I'm just saying, BT needs some content, so hit up BT.
Yep, I know, right?
Right, they starving for some content, but
Right.
just talk about your transition to comedy because
Mhm.
I think that's the most beautiful art of all art. I think
Mhm.
poetry and comedy. I think
Mhm.
they're the most beautiful art because that's a time and place where an artist is vulnerable. So just
Mhm.
talk about that power of being vulnerable on the stage, whether you're a comedian or you're
Mhm.
reciting a poem on stage.
Okay. you're basically, you become naked. You become naked and you have to be comfortable in your own skin. And for me, I've actually been on stage a lot of times in my lifetime. When I was a little girl, I did talent shows. I did Black History Month plays. Sometimes I would sing with the choir. I was actually in this band as well. So I didn't really have a feeling of, I'm too scared to do this. I know some people have fears. I have fears as well, but that wasn't one of them per se. I felt like, no, I wanted to rip my coat off like I was Superman or Wonder Woman or something like that, and feel like I want to give you all me because I'm comfortable in my own skin. And even at a young age, I was very much comfortable in my own skin. And when you get up there, yes, I do worry about things sometimes, like, are they going to receive me, this lesbian up here? Is the world really ready for it? I mean, I know you have Wanda Sykes, you have, comedians like that, that's already like that, but she delivered things in a different way than I do. I'm direct, I'm raw, so I come in a different light. So, but the comedy, just being vulnerable, it it helps you, it helps you laugh. It helps you know how to look at yourself and say, hey, I ain't perfect. We ain't perfect, but we're basically gonna walk together and we gonna get through this life together some type of way. And if I need to stand in front of you and be completely vulnerable, telling you about my childhood, because I do talk about it in my comedy set. I tell you about my childhood, the good, the bad, the ugly. I just make it comical because it didn't kill me. And what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, as the saying goes. So I just feel like for me, it's just it's uplifting, and I don't even get nervous, believe it or not. It's like almost as if that was my purpose to do. And comedy, how that came about, it was weird actually, because I've always been a goofy child all my life. And my mom would always say, stop talking crazy. And I'm like, oh, I'm just, I'm not gonna talk like everyone else. I'm your goofy child. I'm the one that's gonna say the most outrageous thing. And after that, I was like, okay, I have a sense of humor. I took so many L's in life where it built me up to be able to go on that stage and feel powerful and feel like, I'm going to dominate and y'all go listen and we're going to laugh together and love on each other type stuff. But it's just a beautiful thing. And I didn't know if I was going to be funny. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know, but I was like, okay, I'm a writer already. I write books, I write, music. I've written poetry, as you already know my business.
I do.
I've written all of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, all I need to do is give it with a twist. But instead of trying to reach for the stars to figure out, oh, let's talk political, or let's talk this. No, I'm gonna talk about me. I don't want to project anything on anyone else, but I'm still gonna, I feel like that's a great comedian as well. Someone that can take their life, take it outside of that box. Like your parents used to tell you, don't bring my household business nowhere else. No, I'm bringing it. Yeah, no, I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. Take that out of that box and we're going to win.
And I love how you use that term, taken out of the box. Because again, it goes back to being vulnerable and just showing your truth. But talk about like that transition, because you also act. And I think some of the great actors are comedians. Like I think of Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg, of that
Yeah.
that willing to adapt and use their imagination, depending on that role. So just talk about like that itch to act.
The itch to act was always there. I'm gonna say that came around the same time as singing when I about 8 years old. But I'm thinking, I always wanted to be the next Gabrielle Union. I
Mm,
did. And
okay.
then now today they're talking about how her face looks on movie. And I'm like, stop it. I love her. She's always played the roles I would have probably played,
Right.
especially coming up. But that will to act is just like I what's the best way to put this? I don't have a split personality or anything like that, but I know I can reach for I can reach into every area without being truly affected by it. And I want to be able to give something on the screen that I've seen my peers, as far as, are, people like me,
Right.
Denzel Washington, Gabrielle Union, Taraji P. Henson, beautiful actors and actresses. That inspires me so much. I mean, I think for me, my favorite actress growing up was Angela Bassett. I mean, we know the roles that she have had, and I'm like, if I can dominate acting and giving a powerful, I don't want any foolish scripts. No, I know how to say no. I want something that's gonna mean something and push some type of message out there, because that's what it's about. I mean, we can put out crazy. I've put out crazy foolishness before, but like I said, God switched me completely around, and He said, you go show them who you are.
Right.
And that's where we're at now. And I want to show them who I am. Even with me playing different characters, I can still depict a character that someone has as a vision, even myself, if I'm the one in charge, and be able to showcase something so special, whether it's a strong Black woman, a struggling mother, or something like that. I want to do that. I want to show people how it's really done and be as natural as possible about it. Acting for me would be a great crossover for my world, because of the imagination that's still stuck with me. It doesn't want to go anywhere. I don't live in the real world. I live in a fantasy world. And the only time I come out to peek at the real world, that's God. That's God.
Facts. Facts.
Because
Or
everything else
when
is
it's time to
worldly.
pay bills, the first of the
Yeah,
month,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I just put it all in God's hand.
That's it. Facts. Facts.
Uh,
Facts.
hey, He told me not to worry. He told
Right.
me not to worry. Well, He'll figure it out.
And talk about inspiration. Talk about how the legendary comedian Michael Collier.
Okay. That is what started it off for
Okay.
me. Michael Collier, he had a live, I think it was in 2021. He had a live where he did a talent show because of COVID, so he didn't have it, on stage. And I signed up for it. And I didn't think I was going to be able to get on. So he tells me to write a 3-minute set. I'm
Right.
like, in my mind, I'm like, I write books. I got this.
Right.
That's no problem. So I just compiled something quickly, that I can remember from my past that was really funny. And I went on live with Mr. Michael Collier, veteran in the game. I mean, seasoned. We know him from House Party, everything. You know what I mean? This is
Yes.
Michael Collier. This
Yeah.
is also my dad's favorite comedian.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is huge. But when he chuckled, that right there,
Mm.
I took that as a sign, like, I can do this. And I don't even have an audience in front of me. I
Right.
can't hear anyone laughing. I didn't even care about that. I didn't even care about looking at comments. I'm just caring about this legend. Living legend is laughing at me.
Yes.
So it inspired me. He had a show about 2 months after at Uptown Comedy Corner, right in Atlanta. I went to the show and I watched him. Michael Collier, he has his witty comedy. It's very much so witty. If you're not listening, don't even worry. Why are you there? You have to listen and follow Michael Collier, and he's going to get you, but it's so hilarious. It really is. And I'm up there watching him with the ducky. He's a jester. I'm looking at this jester up there entertaining. He got the I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I love this. No, I won't do it in that way. That's his special way. But I need to figure out my own way. And I'm looking around at the smiles that he's getting, the laughter. And I'm all about kindness and love. I'm a little sensitive person. I've always been like that. I'm a soft teddy bear, but I know how to get crazy. But that's what makes me imperfectly me. But after I saw him, I actually reached out to D'Amico. He's the promoter up there at Uptown Comedy Corner. Real cool guy. He's been in the game 10 plus years. He gave me a shot. I had my family come out from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm up there and I'm fighting. I'm up there. I'm funny. I got my other family members laughing. The other comedians laughing, but my mom is just sitting there like,
She's like, don't embarrass me.
And I'm like, okay, my mom, she didn't really like it, but what it was, I was cursing my behind off.
Oh,
And my mom is there, and I'm like, oh, I have to figure this out. And at the time, I just started. I didn't have a clean comedy set like I do now. But I'm just started, so I'm just like, oh yeah, I can finally say this word. I'm gonna finally take advantage of this.
yes.
So she wasn't feeling it the first show. Oh no, of course not. But another thing, I also had an opportunity to meet Gerald Kelly. He's a
Okay.
veteran in the game as well. He's actually on my first show that I have. We'll probably talk about that as well. But I met Gerald Kelly that night, and I don't even know if he heard what I did, but he was just so graceful. He hugged me. He took pictures with me. He wished me well. He told me I'm going to be a star, stuff like that. And I just was like, this is all happening on my first time getting on stage.
Wow.
And I'm wondering what's going to happen next. So after that, it was like, it never really, and you never really could tell that I was a new comedian.
Right.
Because like I said, I think it was already written in stone.
Yes.
And once it's written in stone, that's what it is. You know, I went up there as if I'd done it already. That's what, after a while, when my mom got over the cursing, that's what she said. It's like, you did it before.
Yeah.
They're asking me, are you getting nervous? No, I wasn't nervous. I was overwhelmed and ready to go, ready to get on stage, get it over with, get it out my mouth. And I felt like, no, I need that mic in my hand. Yeah. I was supposed to always have this mic in my hand. My mom didn't want to let me in the industry when I was younger. And you know what? Now that I'm older, I used to be mad about that. Right. But now that I'm older, I'm so thankful she didn't. I'm so thankful she didn't. Because I'm now at a point in my life where I can really, truly know how to make better judgment and everything else. And I encourage a lot of parents to, just tell your child, hold on a second. If it's still there by the time you hit a certain age, I'm going to be right there with you to tag along or to be right by your side. But all that living together with other celebrities and stuff, they need to null and void that for real. They do. They do.
No, definitely. Because that is a recipe for disaster, in that industry. They take advantage of people, especially women. So, that's a great thing that you took your mother's advice. And it's just a beautiful thing to see, like, your maturation from at an early age, from creating your own comic book character to being on a stage, getting the support from comedian legends. It's powerful. It's inspirational. What advice did Michael Collier as well as Kelly give you? Like, what words of wisdom?
Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm gonna say for Michael Collier was more so keep in touch. I have both of their numbers in my phone.
Okay.
Brag a little bit.
Okay.
Got legends in the phone. They told me I could call. Now, Gerald Kelly, I do talk to him on a regular. He wants me to always call me every week, sis. Call me every week, sis. Wow. And I'm like, I don't want to bother you. I feel like this small compared to you, man. And he don't treat me like that. And he did tell me that he actually had me open up for him one time. Wow. Paid me pretty good, too. He was one of the first people that paid me pretty good, Gerald Kelly. And when he came to me after the show, he just told me, keep going. He said, your stage presence alone is remarkable. He said, I love the way your look is. He said, I love you. He said, your personality. And he said, you are going to be a star. That's what he left me with.
Definitely. And I took
it seriously.
Seriously, and I can feel your energy. Like, this is the first time I'm actually talking to you, and we're like face to face, not like sending emails through Gmail. I can feel your energy. I can feel your excitement. I definitely can see you, be the next thing. But what I worry about, especially in our community, when it comes to comedian, is always that one person. Like in other groups, like when you talk about like white comedians, it's never been like that one white comedian.
Right.
In our community, it's just that one. Like you had Eddie Murphy. From Eddie Murphy,
Richard Pryor.
You had Chris Rock. And then from Chris Rock, you know, Dave Chappelle. Then you had Kevin Hart. He was like the face of black comedian because he got the movie real roles and stuff like that.
Right.
What are your thoughts about that, especially being a black woman in comedy? What are your feelings about that?
My feelings about Kevin Hart.
No, just like the way our system is set up is like in all the community is like it's just the one comedian that's the face of black comedy.
Oh, that's not. It's tainted. It's a tainted industry, and you know I'm gonna say it because you know it's a lot of black people against black people as well in the industry. It is because everyone wants to sit at the table, and they want to sit at the table that includes our light-skinned cousins, is what I call them, and they feel empowered by that. And I'm like, you know, I've actually lived a life of working real jobs. You know, I didn't do this. I didn't grow up in a rich family or nothing like that. I don't have that story. I actually work jobs, and we know one thing: as soon as they're done with you, they're done. So I feel like we need more unity in the black community in order for it to be a group of names together, opposed to that one face. It's us that has to do better. We have to do better because even if there's a opportunity, sometimes you got to say no to an opportunity. And I know it's money involved, but money is the root of all evil. With that being said, sometimes you have to uplift others in order to even get your blessings. And trust me, your blessings are going to come out. They're going to come out if you're doing it genuinely. If you're doing it for the blessings, no, you're not going to get it. But I feel like, no, it shouldn't be just Kevin Hart. And then as far as being a black woman in the industry as well, especially comedy, you don't really see a face for us anymore. It used to be. You used to have Queens of Comedy where you had some more. You had Monique. I can't think of the other lady's name, but you know, you had those women on there that was the face, but they're still being overshadowed. Like Samora should not be overshadowed. Okay. You know, I watched her comedy special. She is still up there doing it. She is a queen at it. She is really that, but we don't want to. Now, they do help her out sometimes, but you see her always on tour with a bunch of men. Yes. That's a problem. That's a problem for me because where are the women? Why are we not coming together? We need to all come together as a community because that's what everyone else does. We're the only one that lack that. And we can actually start seeing our face in more areas. We need to actually get in more areas. I say that outside of the industry. We need to get those government jobs. We need to get those political. You have to get those jobs to make change from the inside. And the only people that can change it is us, y'all. Like for real, it's us. Put your pride aside. Don't think nobody else go win before you. No, you can win together. Your biggest competition is you.
Facts.
It's you.
Facts. Like was it Keen Ivory Way said in one of those movies? Message. What was it? Message.
That was South Central. Drinking in South Central, something like that. Yeah.
Drinking your juice while like chilling, whatever.
Yeah, drinking juice in South Central while something. Yeah.
Right. But
we saw the movie. We saw it, y'all.
We saw. We just forgot the name of it. Yeah. But I think that's important. But let's transition to your amazing content on social media, TikTok, to a point where I think because we can shared one of your videos, telling random kings to smile. Talk about the inspiration and the origin behind that.
Okay, so I'm an honest person. That morning, I want to say before I recorded part 1, I thought I was going to put up a twerking video, to be honest. I thought I was about to. I thought I was about to twerk for my life. I'm like, hey, you know, I want to talk to people and I don't know really how to get them to me, but I didn't have to worry about that. Like that brings me back to not worrying. I'm getting ready to start my day, but something hit me like a voice. And I know who the voice was. I have a very close relationship with God. And I heard something as far as go tell kings to smile. My initial reaction was like, who, me? That don't really seem like that go together. The lesbian, you want me to go out there and tell kings to smile? But I'm always like that. I respect the heck out of a man. I do. You know, especially if you're if you're if you're showing yourself as a true man, not no little boys running around here acting all crazy and stuff like that. But a true man, I'm always going to have a level of respect for him, and I already had that. So God, it's like He knew who to pick as His servant, and I say that I'm His servant now because I can't take the credit for the idea at all. I can't. It really placed itself on my heart. What I can take credit for is me doing it because I was obedient. I didn't ask him anything. Right. I mean, I was really like, that was all I did. But other than that, I didn't have any rebuttal. I just went out, and I think on part one, the first guy was at Popeyes. I think I even held the camera on him just for a second too long because I'm trying to like, what am I supposed to say now? You didn't tell me what to say, God. You just told me to do it. So now I'm like, well, I think I started off actually saying, King, King, you should be smiling. But then I was like, oh no, that's not the way. That might rub some kings wrong. Because what you mean I should be smiling? You know, I don't have a reason to smile is what a rebuttal will be. But Lord, I didn't forget where I was going with that. Because it's really an overwhelming thing. But He did pick me as His servant for it. And when I did the first guy, that's where I was. When I did the first guy and he turned around, I was like, okay, this don't feel like it's supposed to be, because he barely gave me a smile, but he gave me a little smirk. But I think the second guy, which shows on part one, he was a construction worker just walking. And after the first guy, I don't know what feeling came over me, but it was exciting. I was like, it feels so good. I do stuff for people, that's not on camera all the time. But it just feels so good to do that for a king, especially the way I dress, everything else. I don't know how they're going to receive me, but they've been receiving me. You hear me? They've been receiving me. They have. And I think that's because the message is for them. Yes. They need to hear this message. They need to hear you're way too handsome. They need to hear you are a king. You need to keep your crown straight at all times. Don't let them pit us against each other. Don't let them do this and that. They need to hear it. And of course, these are conversations that I have inside of my home. Like I have conversations about, and for as men, they have the highest suicidal rate. Yes. Because y'all don't have an outlet. They didn't create one for you guys. And that's unfair. It's ridiculous. We got to do a lot of blaming all the way to the ancestors, because it started somewhere where a man was supposed to be some type of provider. No, you're a protector. Just like you were supposed to protect the cattle as well. You're a protector of cattle. You're a protector of us, the woman. You're not supposed to take care. I don't have to take care of your children if I don't want to. I don't have to do exactly what you tell me to do. I am a man at the end of the day, and I need y'all to know that as a man, yes, you can cry. That doesn't weaken you. Oh my God, I can tell you a story about that. Actually, I'm gonna skip some. I can tell you a story. I had that encounter that did not go on camera. Okay. A guy told me that he was just like, if I smile, that's showing weakness. Wow. And that hurted me because we were taught, women, as a little girl, we're taught that's your strength. Yes. No matter if we're being cheated on, hated on, going through racism, bad day at work, you still smile. Yeah. It shows your strength, and it shames the devil every time, because what he can do with that? No matter what I throw at her, she's still smiling. No matter what I throw at him, he's still smiling. That's why you should smile still. That's not a form of weakness. And I'm sorry that anyone ever taught any king that, or any queen for that matter, because you never know. It may be taught to them too that no, we don't show our feelings. You don't show what you've been through. Why? That gives them the upper hand to show we're weakening them. No, if you keep smiling, trust me, look at my comments. We're weakening them. We
Facts.
are. We
Facts.
are. Check it out.
Facts. Facts. And I think what makes it powerful is coming from a Black woman. I think
Mhm.
that's what makes it powerful is that you go into you go to these men and telling them to smile. You're not asking for anything. You just want
Right.
to see them a smile and you walk away.
Mhm.
Can you talk about a personal story like behind the camera where one of the brothers said, "Thank you, I needed that."
Mhm. Um, I have one guy on a recent video. He said it in the video that he needed that, but I went to the restroom and I came back out and he still wanted to speak with me. And I he had it hard on his jobs as a Black man. He was in a racist situation at his job. The first job he had a story about the Black people. It was the Black people in the job trying to get rid of him. And I said, that sounds about right too. I said, sometimes we have the ones, that's not the ones I say get into the political offices because they're pretty much brainwashed.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything with someone that's brainwashed, but wish them blessings and
Yes.
move on.
Yeah.
So I left him some encouraging words of, you're not going to be there that long. You're not. And when you pray and give it to the Lord and let him guide you, he's going to make it work for you. I don't even believe in people saying you have to work 24/7. No, because when are you allowing God time to work?
Yeah.
You have to allow him time to work too. You're supposed to rest, actually.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, because by the time you wake up, he can actually change your life. He can change your world. So I left him with all of that encouraging words. And I do get numbers sometimes. I got to get a book for it. I got a bunch of numbers. And I got a date pending too right now. And my wife is just like, what in the world is going on? I said, listen, look, you just gotta take it for what it is.
Right.
It's gonna be a poly relationship times 20.
Right.
I got about 20 men lined up to move in. We gotta
Right.
take them in.
Nope.
They need me. They need
Right.
me.
They need that affirmation. You're just there for
They need that
affirmation.
affirmation. And
Yeah.
it doesn't take anything. And I do want to say this, it doesn't take anything away from your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, your sister, anyone that give you day-to-day affirmation. That doesn't take anything. Sometimes, just like when we were younger, we didn't listen to our parents. We listened to a stranger.
Yeah.
So sometimes, even though you're telling me, I feel like you're telling me that all the time because you're my cousin.
Right.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're telling me that all
Yes.
that time because you're my mom.
Yeah.
But when someone comes up to you and see you that doesn't know you, that's a different game
Oh my
changer right there. That is.
facts, and that is, and that's why I think, um, most importantly, that's why you get so much engagement with your post, is that it's genuine, it's real,
Mhm.
it's not um fixed or
No.
or like planned. This is just all organic,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
like I said, nothing as powerful than seeing a Black man smile is just
Mhm.
a powerful thing because it reinstates that we are beautiful.
Right.
We have purpose. Um, we have a right to exist, and
Right.
to get acknowledged from a Black woman is a beautiful thing, as well as a Black woman as a lesbian. That's even powerful. It's like I
Yes.
don't want to mess with you, but I just want to see you smile.
Right, right, right. Uh-huh. And I said this too, because even when I was wondering, okay, like he picked me and I was wondering why, just slightly, I
Right.
said, okay, well, let me think about this for his full thing. And I'm like, okay, he couldn't pick a prostitute because why? She would have been taken a lot,
Right.
a
Facts, facts,
lot
facts,
in different ways. You
facts,
understand?
facts.
And he couldn't pick the prideful Black man to do it because why? I'm not about to tell no other Black man he ain't this and that. And I ain't about to count, man.
Yeah.
He couldn't pick that person. He picked someone that he knew didn't want to see anything other than you smile.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. I don't want anything from you. Now, what I do want from you is the reward of knowing that I made your day. That's
Yes.
what I want from you, because I need you to lift your head up, because something's happening in this world where it's so many demons roaming. It's a lot of demons roaming. It is. And we need something to combat it. And I'm one person, and I do tell a lot of men this when I cut the cameras. I'm one person trying to change the world. But as a little girl, I didn't say this earlier, but as a little girl, I once told my mom the same thing. I said, I want to be some type of motivational speaker where I'm almost like Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Her response was, and you go die like him too. But
Wow. That's
she
a
was a
horrible
young parent.
comeback.
She was a young parent.
Okay.
Because I actually told her about that, and she said, oh, I actually remember that. She said, I didn't know better. I said, no, that's okay, because what God told us both. No, she was telling you something. She was telling you something that she wanted to do, because she always told me, Keedy, that's my nickname, family nickname. She was like, Keedy, you cannot go out into the world and be so kind, because the world isn't going to be kind to you. But see, that was her advice. But when I grew older, they always say, parents always say they want you to be better than them. And I think she's truly proud with that. But my advice is you put more into the world than you take out.
Yes.
You don't want to take out too much of the worldly stuff anyway, because you're conforming to the way of the world when that happens. But if you put in more, trust me, you're going to get 10 times back everything that you desire, every blessing that you never knew that can take place. Like right now, it's a blessing being on here with you. Never would have saw it coming. You know,
Right?
look at that handsome smile.
Oh.
I would have never seen it coming. Like I said, no, I didn't. Now, this is me being honest as well. I did not know it was going to take off this far.
Right.
I did not know it was going to be this big, because I'm really a person like, oh, I'm always kind of people. You know, that should be like law. You know, be kind to others. It should really be a law, but it's not. We live in a crazy world. We do. But that don't mean you have to become crazy with it. You can actually choose to be an outsider. And that's something that I never tried to do, was fit in. I never try. I don't want to fit in. I want to be myself. I want to be myself at all times, because that's all I can be. And that's who God created, is me. You know, so.
No, facts. And what I love what you're doing is that you're breathing kindness into existence,
Oh,
which is
yes.
really needed in the world that we live in, especially in the algorithm world of social media.
Mhm.
Because we, as Black people, we love the ratchetness. We love it. We eat that like Wonder Bread.
Yeah, they do. They
You know
do.
what I mean? But
Mhm.
what you're doing, I think, is different, is unique, and
Mhm.
is much needed. And I just hope the brothers do that to other brothers. You know, I think what you're doing is you started a movement,
Mhm.
and hopefully you'll see more people just random go to people and say, "Hey, what's up? I just want to just see you smile, man. Thank you. Have a good day," and walk away. You know what I
You
mean?
ain't about to make me cry on here. Mm-mm.
No, you wanna cry, man. Cry, cry. But what
No, because
Iana, what did Iana Van Sant always say? Good cry is
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Good
you're
cry,
right. You're right.
you
You're
know.
right.
It,
I'm just saying, starting the movement. I even when I read some of these comments, I'm like, they're calling me a legend. I'm like, or a mogul, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm just me. I'm just Keke. I'm just me. But sometimes we don't. I guess we don't know how much we are needed in this world, and I'm still struggling with that. I'm rubbing my knees now. I done got nervous, but
got
you know,
nothing
we
nervous
struggle because
about.
this is a lot to take on. It's overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie to anyone. Yes, I am having a ball doing this because I love to spread the love and the kindness. I do, and I also love to engage in. That's one of my love language, intellectual conversations. I have a lot of different conversations with a lot of these different kings that you guys see on the videos after I cut the cameras, and I'm gaining knowledge. I'm being filled. I'm looking at things in a different way. It's just I people don't know. Some days I'm having a bad day behind that camera.
Yeah.
But it was one time I think I did go out, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And it was just like a struggle of I'm getting scared. You know, we stand in our own way, our mentals.
Yes.
You know, I would say that. You know, I'm trying to stop that myself, but I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. And I was like, I just don't feel like doing it because of the things that I was going through in my inside world. But I say, you know what? No. Hebrews 13:2 says,
Mhm.
remember to give hospitality to strangers, for you
Mhm.
may be entertaining an angel. So no matter what I go through, I don't care what type of day I had, I'm going to still go out there and make sure a king has a better day.
Mm.
Because after I do that, my day becomes just as great. It do.
Facts, and
Mhm.
I'm predicting that's your first special, giving hospitality to strangers. That's your comedy special right there.
Get out of here. Stop. I say I'm
Mind blowing.
sensitive. Golly. I'm gonna be a sensitive comedian. Look, for stuff like this, ah,
Right?
this is a tearjerker. Like, stop,
Right?
because I love it. I need to put you on payroll. I mean,
That's free of charge. The next one's I'm gonna charge you.
okay, definitely, because you were spitting out some good ideas. Oh my god, oh my
That's,
god. Tell me
that's
one more time. Say it again. I like how you said it.
what I just
The
told you.
name of the show, the special.
Oh, the special,
Uh,
giving hospitality to strangers.
I like how you said it. Yeah, it sounds nice. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, you could put
Oh,
that
my
on the
face hurt.
t-shirt.
Jesus.
You could put that on a t-shirt. Start selling it at your
Yeah,
comedy shows. There you go.
yeah. I actually got this one made.
Okay. Fire.
Artist. Yeah, he's on my Instagram. He did some
Okay.
good work.
I
He
love
did
it.
some good work. And on
I
the
love
back, I think it says "Just My Blessing." Yeah, just my blessing.
Okay, just my
Yep,
blessing.
yep.
I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I love it.
Yep.
We're definitely gonna get that link and put it in the description. If people wanna support the
Yes,
artist,
yes,
we'll
yes, yes,
definitely
yeah. He
do that.
painted. He painted this
That's
on
fire.
fabric. You know
Wow.
how hard it is to do some stuff on fabric, and that's
That's
me.
hard.
That
Wow.
is me. That is me, guys.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So this has been a great conversation. But before we end the show, like let's talk about
We
your
lost
next the
service.
thing going on. What's the next thing going on for you? Like your next special or comedy show?
Okay. I
What's going on?
actually have my own show that I'm hosting and promoting. It's called the Crab Trap House. It's a seafood restaurant in Lake City, Georgia. The
Okay.
first show is February the 8th, starts at 9 p.m. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. All you have to do is search Keke the Great for that, as well as I do have some physical tickets that I don't mind meeting someone in public places to give to all as well. Ticket prices aren't that bad. I have Gerald Kelly. He's actually my headliner for that show. See how we giving back to each other,
Yes,
you know.
yes,
So that's
yes.
what it's all about. I have Alicia Bridges. She's an
Fact.
amazing local. She has toured before a little bit too as well. She's amazing and funny. Y'all definitely need to come check her out. And I'm going to be there as well. My entire family is coming out. So I would love for you guys to come and see Kings and Queens Comedy Show hosted by yours truly, Keke the Great.
Facts, facts. And all those links will be in the description below. And how
Mhm.
can people find you?
You can actually find me on all my social media accounts. It's Keke_the_great_comedy. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's where I'm at.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
And again, Queen, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time. Because I tell all my guests, time is our greatest commodity, and you spending your commodity with me. I appreciate you for doing
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And we're out. Again, this has been a great episode of the podcast. Follow me on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Type in "Dad is not a noun." You'll find me and my smile. And we're out.
Thank
Peace.
you, King.